The 2014 season started in the early winter months when Mike and I put together a game plan to get a buck killed within the first couple weeks of the season. But I think it's like you said, if we get that into a food plot up in that corner, that's going to be money.
And you can't see it in here, but this opening in here, these pines, that's like that primary staging area.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, all the bucks that we see come out of the bedding really in these two pockets, and almost every one of them stops right there at some point.
Yeah.
And then they'll either make their mind up if they're going south or north. So
it sounds like a pretty good plan. Well, it's the middle of August, and Heather, Nora, and I are out to put our antler king in today. I'm going to put a clover mix here behind us. I have some clover planted around kind of in a circle, and I just pulled a bunch of these pine trees out, and I'm going to make the food plot a little bigger. I have some beans over here on the neighbors and then alfalfa down the hill, but this is a good staging area. Last year, early season, this was the spot right here, so I'm making the food plot a little bigger. I'm putting a water hole in here, getting stands set up for every wind direction, and we should be ready to go by opening day. So I got my little helper here to help me, and we're gonna work some dirt here today. So this new area, I don't know how well it's gonna work out, but we'll see. And I plan on putting beans as a cover crop just to try to see how it works. I mean, it's August and you shouldn't plant beans. I'm not expecting to get pods out of it, but basically I'm figuring them to gnaw the tops off just to get the clover going. And I'm banking on killing a deer here within the first 2 weeks. So we need the food plot to go. 638, which is good. I think it's on a 5-minute interval. So what we ended up doing out here this year is I used Mike's idea. He came up with the idea last year when we were sitting here to square off the end of these pine trees and turn it all into a food plot. Otherwise I just had my racetrack around the pine trees. So after we looked at it, there was only about a dozen trees to take out, so I didn't need to bring a dozer or anything. I cut them down in the spring and then came up here with a tractor and pushed them over, and we disced it up, and I put Antler King honey hole in the center, and I got trophy clover around the outer edge, so it's all coming in fairly well. The center plot was kind of crappy ground. I limed it and fertilized it. I wasn't expecting much here the first year or two, but by year 2 or 3, it's going to be a prime time little crop. We did everything up here. I put a water hole in. I planted some apple trees, which won't be productive for a few years, but by the time Nora starts hunting, they'll be good to go. I mean, this area is perfect for early seasons. I got alfalfa down below these pines, and I got beans over here, so this is the perfect staging area. I'm putting all my marbles in, killing a buck here the first 3 weeks of the season. Because after that, once the middle of October hits, they're usually gone. So I'm hoping with all the work and preparation we did here, everything's growing beautifully. We got a lot of rain this year that we get one killed right away, and that I can just worry about filming Mike. So. It's only 3-4 days from season. 4:24 in the afternoon. Wisconsin bow season, and our first night out hasn't gone real well. We knew where we wanted to sit, but the wind was supposed to be southwest. We get up here prepared to sit in a tree stand. It's blowing almost out of the east. Now we're approached a little differently too, so we don't have a tripod. All we have is the tree arms, so we're gonna have to freehand the camera. And the neighbor, I've never seen him sit ever bow season. I've never seen a guy on his other property. And what you know, this year I put in this food plot, water hole, everything, just prime it for opening weekend. And then this guy walks right down this fence line right behind my tent. I mean, that's the price you pay for putting something close to a fence line, but it's the only spot I got, so we'll see what happens. But we no more got in the tent. There's 2 does and a fawn feeding right down towards us, and now I just went in the buckets. So we're sitting over the Antler King tonight. It looks prime time. It's nice and green. Clover came in really nice, and then I got beans right in the middle there, so we'll see what happens. But there's 7 different shooters coming to this plot, so technically 4 of them are Heathers and 3 of them are mine. So it depends which one comes out who will be shooting. But right now Heather's filming, so we'll see. Got up into a stand I had set this summer based on where a buck was moving last year. I don't think very much hope of us killing anything or having anything in range, but we didn't want to drive all the way out here and not sit, so I don't know what we're going to do the rest of the week. The deer's been moving so early we can't even get out here after work and the hunt, because you got to be out here by 3 o'clock. We've already seen at least a dozen deer tonight, but the big bucks are bed right below us, but I'm sure tonight they'll be right on my camera in the full plot because we are down there. Sometimes you sit in one of these spots you don't think it'll happen. All of a sudden, a whole big boy will come walking by, but I wouldn't bet on it. Like I know he's betting over in here, so you are gonna bump him.
get packed up? Well, it's the 18th of September, and Mike and I are heading out to try to kill that big 8-pointer. Finally got an east wind. They're not talking an east wind again for another week, so I'm hoping we can make it happen tonight. We're gonna go try to crawl up in that corner where he came out the last 2 nights we sat. He came out in the exact same spot, and I gotta stand down there. It's just one of them spots where we're gonna be less than 100 yards away from bedded deer, so everything's gonna have to be perfect. I got a good feeling. Temperatures dropped about 8 degrees from yesterday, and there's a front coming in tomorrow, so anytime you get a front movement, usually the deer are gonna be on their feet. So, and we've seen a shooter every night we sat Pella. We're just finally gonna be in the spot where I want to be.
Mike and I made it in a tree. I'm gonna be super quiet because I'm pretty sure we got deer. Bedded right down here below us. Some awesome set. The wind feels perfect. Everything feels right tonight. Of course, we did forget a few things. Mike forgot his boots. I forgot the main battery for the camera, so we're running on backup, and hopefully it actually operates. Mike forgot his safety harness. Lucky I had a backup. But other than that, we're doing pretty good. So we got up super quiet, got in. I feel good about it. The visibility's good. We already seen a doe and a fawn, so as long as the wind stays perfect, we should be within range of them tonight. The only thing I figure would get us is the 2 nights we see him, he's worked himself into the wind onto this field. And tonight we got an east wind, so the only thing that would get us is if he stays working with the wind, he'll go to that other alfalfa field. But I'm hoping he's on a pattern and comes out right here, because we'll at least get a shot at. It's not looking good unless one of the other shooters shows up here, but I think that's just the biggest thing out here is these deer play the wind. It was both nights we seen him. We had a westerly wind and he was working into the wind. Now we got an east wind and he comes out way over on the other end. I'm just guessing that's maybe his pattern, just following the wind directions or just bad luck. With Mike and my luck, I'm probably going to say it's probably just bad luck. Yeah, it's definitely bad luck.
After a week of solid hunting and the bucks starting to leave their summer patterns, Mike and I knew our chances were dwindling quick at getting a shot at one of my shooters that I've been watching all summer. We were hoping for the best and knew we had to get it done the next couple sits, otherwise we probably weren't going to get a shot.
almost out of light. 8-pointer was a no-show tonight, which isn't overly surprising. The wind never died. It's still blowing at least 15 miles an hour. We had at least 8 does and fawns on this field though tonight, and that 1 buck early. And then we seen another spike and another buck over in the other field, so it wasn't too bad. We seen more deer than I thought we were. I figured we'd probably get skunked the way the wind is blowing. So we'll slip out of here, and hopefully once this front goes through, it's supposed to be warm yet tomorrow, but Sunday it's going to drop about 10 degrees and the wind's going to switch from the north, so Mike and I'll probably be back in the pines, and hopefully the 8-pointer is actually there on that day, and then we'll probably be in the food plot later on in the week. So we're going to take this hay off, I think, in the next few days, and then beans are yellowing, so my food plot should be golden. But probably once that happens, all the deer will just leave, so I think Mike and I got to start shooting spikes and does and whatever moves. Because the big bucks are kicking our butt right now. I'm sitting back where Mike and I sat the other night, where I seen the big 8-pointer twice and the triple beamer twice down here in this corner. I basically forgot almost everything except for the camera. I got batteries for my mic, I got extra battery for the camera. Mike and Heather are after bear tonight, so if you can't hear me real well, that's why. But I've seen 5 does and fawns already. 3 when I was crawling up the tree. 1 doe I may have bumped, but she didn't snort or anything. She just went up the hill, just kind of at a slow trot. So I don't think she knew what I was, because her fawn was down here while I was climbing the tree and just fed off. So we'll see. I had a cameraman lined up and he couldn't make her, so I'm self-filming tonight. And just had a cold front come through last night, dropped about 10 degrees, and it's 5:30 and I've seen 5 already. So there's deer out on the way here. So it should be a good night. I'm at least expecting to see a shooter, but probably won't get a shot at. That's the way it's been so far this season. Watched him walk off the field. He started eating again, so I couldn't see any blood. I watched him for probably 5 minutes. So I'm like, the 3 people and mother two were fighting this whole time, started coming back. And I'm like, well, I gotta take the shot. I just smoked him. He's dead right in the field. Yes. This is actually the buck Heather and I seen opening day come up on the food plot, and I couldn't quite get a shot at him when we were in the tent. It feels good to do all the work all summer. I made my food plot bigger and got a bunch of antler king planted and made a little pond and clover. With all the rain we've been having, everything grew so nicely. These bucks actually staged up there. I could hear them fighting. Great night of sitting, fighting, seeing a little bit of everything. Beautiful night. It's just awesome. This is the first decent buck I've shot in a couple of years. So.